This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Late Bloomers with comedians Karen Schwartz and Sandra Doss. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Late Bloomers podcast with Karen Schwartz.
Hi.
And Sandra Doss, myself. Yes. And today we're actually in Karen's place. We're having a little happy hour. Salud.
Yes, cheers.
There you go.
Cheers.
Yes. Yeah.
Feel free to go join us. Fill one up.
There you go. That's right. Our producer is also joining in from his studio.
Very nice.
So today we're going to be discussing the different malfunctions that can happen on stage and how comedians that are late bloomers handle it or might handle that. I mean, it could be the same for everybody, but maybe we observe that more. I don't know. What do you think?
Possibly, and I think just from starting later, we just, I think we look coming to the stage as if we're more experienced, perhaps more seasoned, but when these hiccups or things that could normally derail a performer happen because of the way we're perceived based on how old we appear, we look like we should be able to just roll with it and know exactly how to handle it. But we are newer to being stage performers. So
to stand up.
To being a stand-up. So we're just going to share some of those moments we've learned from. Some of those things we've learned from that, perhaps a younger comic experiences when they're, 24, like they're supposed to. But, it's happening now.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yep.
Yeah, good to know. Good to know, because I think we're more aware of, how we move and all that, because, missing a step, maybe a younger comedian that's 22, will just kind of skip and, close call. But for us, it could be a broken hip or whatever. Or, I mean, not just to put it very dramatically, but, it's not like we're going to bounce back. However, and I have a bit about that, but based on my own experience, here's a secret. It's not a secret because now I'm telling you, but if you ever fall in public, just pretend you're fainted. Nobody will laugh at you because people will be like, oh my God, she's hurt. Oh, they'll be, trying to help you and whatever. And then they'll be kind of more kinder. But if you fail and then kind of you're getting up, people are going to crack up. And so, it's always fun to do a little Meryl Streep and pretend you fell.
I'm having
you fainted. Yeah.
I'm having a flash to our fans to our listeners who may also be familiar with Ted Lasso. I'm having a flash to the advice to stay down.
There you go.
Stay down because you're really going to get your audience behind you the longer you stay down.
Yeah. People will be more, sympathetic or, man,
that's
whatever.
A nightmare for me.
I mean, it happened to me. It happened to me once. It was an accident, and I'm like, oh, it worked. And
were people laughing that you fell down?
No, but I saw somebody with the corner of my eye that was like, ha, oh my God, and the expression changed from ha to, is she hurt? Did something really happen to her? And so that was fun. And I'm like, oh, that's the way to go. Yeah. And I was young. It's just, I was, I mean, not that we're ancient, but we're older than most comedians who are in their 20s. And most comedians who are, 3, up to 5 years in, they're in their 20s generally. But yeah, it happens. It's interesting how they deal with those mishaps.
I think how far along the relationship is with the person who falls down is. I think that has a lot to do with the reaction to the fall. Because if it's someone you don't know, like, oh my goodness, is that person okay? But if it's like one of your good friends, you're like, wait, hold on, stay there, I'm gonna take a picture. And then, if it's like your best friend who's on, It's actually, and I know that's backwards. That's the opposite. It's like what a garbage person would do. But,
no, I mean, if you know me, so now you know,
Right.
you're like, let me wait to see if she's faking it or if it really happened. Or, turn it into an improv moment, just use the stage, whatever, just grab, everything is coming down. The stool, the microphone, because for people out there, civilians, which is the name we comedians have for people who don't do stand-up comedy. Comedians, we have to we need very little to do stand-up comedy. We need a microphone and a stool. And of course the microphone has to be connected. But aside from that, we need a raised stage ideally, but sometimes there isn't a raised stage. There is a cable. You could trip with the cable, with the steps, that sort of thing.
So I've been in situations where the mic just completely goes out, where it dies. It's either like one of those rechargeable battery microphones, or the worst scenario I was in was the Bluetooth system that the microphone was connected to actually was playing some kind of music, like had just housed background restaurant music through the system. And chopping in and out between getting like a syllable and then music and then a syllable. So I've worked without like a working microphone before, where I've just put the microphone away and thought, okay, I'm just going to project my voice more.
Right.
Just no microphone, just going unplugged.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
I mean, is it great? No. But I've had that happen for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know the stairs phenomenon? That is just going back to the falling thing, and then the mic.
Yeah, what is that?
The stairs thing, there is, because you see it all the time at award shows. People are like, "How did you fall?" And there's just something psychologically that happens. You're looking at the stairs. You've done stairs so many times,
Yeah.
right? And then you're like, "How many are there?" And then you fall. Like. You just let me fall. I don't know what it is. You're nervous for no reason.
Yeah.
The core. I feel like you guys have been doing it long enough where you learn quickly. That I definitely agree. You learn quickly. Like, just keep it as simple as you can. Don't add like music in the background.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so distracting. So I totally agree.
Yeah.
And that brings me actually to what you're wearing. Nervous. Now, in our case, of course, you want people to laugh at your jokes and not at you. I mean, that kind of takes power away from you. Mm-hmm. And so in my case, I don't use heels anymore, but I wear sneakers or something that allows me to really move very comfortably on stage, because the steps can be a problem. There used to be a place, the Great Room, in Manayunk, Pennsylvania, which is, I guess it's part of Philadelphia right now.
Yeah, Manayunk's
but it's close to the suburbs. Yeah. And that stage was like really high. Mm-hmm. And I felt that I was doing like box jumps, like CrossFit, really. And so I had to have like a little gimmick to get on it twice. And I needed help. From two guys, but it was like a Marilyn Monroe kind of, one gave me a hand, the other one, they kind of lifted me, and I thought, okay, and now I have to do this again to get off the stage. So guess what I did? I bought a stool. I bought a stepping stool, and I have it in my car because I never know when I'm going to need it. It's just there, and it's marked, don't remove me, because I need it in case, I encounter something like that. I have to go and see the stage first. And then after I see the stage, then I kind of settle in and whatever, because if I have to go back to my car, I have to see, I don't carry it with me, but I have to go, I have to be prepared.
Is it like a squatty potty or like a...
No, it's foldable. You can fold it flat.
It's a collapsible.
Yeah. And it's metal. So, it's pretty stable. And actually other comedians have had to use it, and I'm glad I've had it for them. I've not needed it because I guess the Great Room closed. So I never got to use it after I got it. but fellow comedians have used it elsewhere, and actually they're younger. So it made me feel good. Yeah, young enough to be our kids.
Then
But
you're a comics comic if you're willing to lend out your personal stool.
my personal stool. That sounds terrible, right? Lending your stools.
Your stool share.
A stool sample.
Yes.
Yeah, can I sample your stool? Yeah,
Yes.
that sounds awful. That sounds terrible. Salute, everybody. Cheers. Okay, there you go.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Bling.
Yeah. So there you have it. See, you didn't know I had a stool on me.
No.
There you go.
Never offered me your stool.
No, I never did.
I
But, you
mean,
know, Karen, she's
now
so
I know.
limber, and she's like a pole vaulter.
Now I know where I'm right.
Just get out there.
Offered the
Yeah.
stool.
The wireless microphone. Oof. Every time.
100%.
Every time we go,
Wireless microphone.
it's a comics nightmare.
It's a complete, I mean, in a way, it's awesome, right? Because you're not worried about the
Mm-hmm.
cord length and you think you can go a certain distance into your audience, but then you always quickly find out where you can't. Like, you know, you hear that crackle, voice just drops
Yes.
out, you know,
Yeah.
and then you know,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
you're testing, it's like you're a dog testing out the electric fence. You know what I mean? Like when you're walking around with one of those things.
Yeah, if you're starting out and looking at systems, definitely don't go for I know there's a ton of the karaoke systems with a cordless mic, but don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah, actually, well, I have some of those. I mean, they're great in case of emergency, but they could fail. I mean, you know, I'm aware of that. It happened to me once, and unfortunately, my voice is low, and I cannot really project. Well, I was competing with like music in a different room, and then sports going on the screen or whatever, and people talking. And what I did was use the whistle that's in my keychain. I have it for safety purposes. But I said, you know what? You know, I'm just going to blow that whistle. And people immediately looked, and I said, I'm sorry, but I have 4 more minutes to go. And then, you know, you're free to, you know, to do whatever. But it's, yeah. And of course, it was a show. I mean, everybody knew there would be comedy happening, you know. Sometimes people don't know, but most people did know. But yeah, it sucks. It's terrible. Or when the stand comes apart. That has happened.
Yes.
I'm terrified of that. You're adjusting the stand because the person that came before you, I mean, the comedian before you, is like 7 feet tall, and you're like, okay, let me, you know, whatever. And then I end up with 2 sticks, like, yeah, that's terrible because that eats your time,
right?
You know, adjusting that thing. I hate that.
So we now know that Sandra Doss carries a stool and a rape whistle.
That's right.
But not a laptop computer.
No,
so
not today. Not today. Today is a very special. Yeah, it's a very, very.
I can
special,
see where your priorities are.
Yeah. No, yeah. I have to upgrade my
it's
system.
All good. No,
it'll happen this year. It'll happen.
I
this
love
year.
it. This is great.
Yeah. It'll happen this year.
This is fun.
I love that. On a very special episode of the late program.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Or you know, another thing is wardrobe malfunctions that you see on or that you experience. Recently, actually last night, a fellow comedian, a guy, had his zipper down. And I was like, oh my, not on purpose. Okay. I think he may have gone to the restroom and just didn't, it was not fully, zipped. And then it started going, jeans sometimes do that. And he was like, and people were.
And the shirt wasn't long enough?
No. But then I was like, you know what? Guys show their underwear. I guess their pants like fall really low. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's different though when a guy's showing the back part of the underpants, like the back part.
That's right.
That's like I saw it. I missed the meeting. I mean, well, we didn't get invited to that meeting where they decided that's okay.
Yeah, because we would have vetoed that.
I would have been like,
we would have said like, no, hell no,
not my thing. But
no.
But then again, I don't need to carry a rape whistle for myself. So maybe.
It's happened, and and well, I know that I've been on stage, and then maybe 1 or 2 buttons that shouldn't have been, it's over there, and I'm like, I'm showing too much. But hey, I figure, they'll never be as perky as they are today. Yeah, because every day, they get less and less perky.
Preserve the memories.
Exactly.
Yeah. Capture the memories.
That's right.
Hold on to them.
That's right. What can you do?
Hold on to your memories. So my it's funny. A friend of ours, JC Campbell,
Mm-hmm.
whenever she comes out to watch, any of her friends perform,
Mm-hmm.
she is an avid photographer. Her photography of her dogs is jaw-droppingly beautiful, and but when she goes to any of our mics or even just a routine bar show, she will take the most professional looking, the best pictures, and then she'll send you a message the next day, hey, here's some pictures I snapped of you, and you're like, right, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize you were doing that while you were in the audience. And she does that for all of us, which is incredibly generous and sweet. It's just, it's I feel very loved from these photos.
Yeah.
With that said, I've regretted every outfit I've ever worn from looking at her pictures, because I'm like, this would have been such a great picture if
You're being too critical.
No, but I'm looking at myself in the clothes, and I'm thinking, I should have styled that differently, or tucked this and bloused it out because it looks like it's pulled a little too tight here, like a sausage casing or whatever. So I just feel very self-conscious just from. And anyway, from the angles are important.
They are.
Any kind of photo.
Yes.
So you may notice we're doing Facebook mom angle, where basically
Change it.
I decided this probably wasn't good, but Facebook mom, you do that high up, the angle, but somebody in your audience, they're a few feet down, they're on the floor, and you're so they're photographing up, so they're getting all your underbiz
or whatever.
They're just getting all your underbiz and all your all your stuff.
Yeah. See, yeah, it makes you really, I feel envious of guys sometimes, because I'm like, if they have a beard, that just hides a double chin or whatever.
Hides everything.
It hides
neck beard.
a weak jaw.
No, but neck beard, the neck beard dudes,
Mm-hmm.
they can hide 50 pounds of neck. Just
Yeah.
neck. 50. Oh yeah. I'm very envious of the neck beard boys.
That's right.
Seriously.
That's right. I'm like, oh, they're so lucky. And I'm like, okay, another one on the list. They can pee anywhere, and they can hide their double chin with a beard.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. They just look cool.
Yeah.
They roll out of bed, they go.
Yeah.
They're fine.
For us,
It's different.
It's a production. Although we're pretty natural. We try to, what you see is what you get, pretty much. Yeah.
It is weird. I've had to trip in, but the tall stages, sometimes they get in my head still. I've been on very tall stages from the audience, and I'm just because of the height too. So I feel like I'm lording over the audience. I'm too high up.
Uh-huh.
So I feel you on that one. I did.
No, when
our producer is very tall. He's a very tall guy. So he would never use you're welcome to use my stool at some point if you need it. But he has very long legs. He can, just climb very easily.
Oh, yeah.
But once he's there, he looks like, he's going to fight Godzilla on top of some skyscraper because he's very tall.
So Neil, when you did our show at PJ Ryan's in that basement with the low drop ceiling, your head was just grazing the top of that stained asbestos, whatever that is made out of. And you just...
It was wonderful.
It was great. His hair was flat.
Once you stepped up on that stage, if you weren't standing in the part that has the hole in the middle, and you were had all the height advantage, the ceiling was here.
It was right there. I know. I'd rather have that than the tall stage. They're the AC Joke stage and the Tropicana. It's an old strip club, so the stage is legitly 5 feet up. It's or 4.5 feet up. It's wild to perform on. So I'll take a low roof and duck down than a tall stage any day.
Wait, this Tropicana is in Philadelphia?
Oh no, the Tropicana in Atlantic City.
In Atlantic City. Yeah.
Yes. At AC Jokes. Yeah, that one, it's an old converted strip club. So it gets a little tough on that one. You definitely you feel different.
House.
Your house is an old converted strip club. Look at that.
Strip club, really? Is that,
It looks good. It converted over well. I love the rustic strip club look.
IKEA. It's amazing what IKEA can do.
All this is old rustic strip club from IKEA.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, my goodness.
Did you keep the poles or what?
they're load bearing. They're,
Yeah.
you can't take out the poles.
And that's great core exercise.
Yeah,
Do you know that?
I've heard so.
Well, I know somebody who just took it as, for a workout, and because they're teaching these things now. And she got really strong in the core. It was a gag at first, like, fun and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like she really got into it. Yeah. I mean, she can climb coconut trees like you wouldn't believe it.
Is that an expression from back in the day about strippers?
No, back when I didn't know.
Oh boy.
No, I mean, I don't know. You've seen coconut trees. I mean some people can climb. I mean, I would never. I mean, if I had back in Panama, if one of the coconut trees was too high and the coconuts were there, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll wait for it to fall. And
I've heard of like the camel where like you get on it and you're like,
sure, this is great.
Heard of the camel.
This is like the skateboard.
Look at that. She has a prop.
I have props.
Yeah.
You've got the hand moves, Karen. You definitely have.
There she is. She's on the pole.
She knows too much.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, right.
Well,
yeah.
Young kids out there, you remember the skateboards, the little skateboards we had, the little tech decks. This is the same thing.
Yeah,
the
fingerboards.
This is the same. You're doing finger stripping. I love it.
Finger stripping. Finger stripper pole.
Talk about blunders. Yeah, talk about stage blunders.
Finger stripper pole.
Oh boy,
Take that Tony Hawk in your fingerboard. I've got finger stripper pole. So
yeah, you could get like little boots and put them on your finger, and then
now we're talking.
There you go. See?
$1 million ideas. Can you wait until we pitch this to Shark Tank to release this meal?
Of course, I absolutely will. Yeah, I mean,
it's never a dull moment. I mean, we cover everything and anything under the sun, so long as it's fun.
I'm all business about this poll.
Yeah. So well now we know, that. Well, that's another thing. If you find that on the stage, I'll hold on to it. That's what I'll do.
That's what we need. We need to perform in clubs that have a pole, like a safety grip, like a pole. Although I hear that they do spin. The poles spin. So
look at that. Where she's trying to get me into. There you go.
If you go over to Raven, I mean, you can do a comedy right on that stripper pole if you want.
That's right.
Where is this place?
City. Yeah.
Raven. So
it has the stripper pole.
Raven Lounge. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a pole right in the middle of the stage because
I invite Karen to come to the city to different open mics and different shows. And Karen is just hesitant.
No, I'm not anymore.
Not anymore.
You didn't mention
not
place.
anymore. Not anymore.
You didn't mention this place.
Oh, there you go. See, I didn't know that's what it took.
This is different now. This is a different offer.
Oh, if there's a pole, she's totally in it. Yeah, there you go.
I see that. Yeah, you got the tiger in the eyes. Look at that. She's ready for it. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, what other? I'm trying to think of other blunders. Lighting blunders. I've had every kind of blunder.
Yes.
I'm getting off.
Lighting.
Yes. Lighting blunders.
You never had lighting blunders?
Where
I've had a
too much light.
show.
Actually, too much
light.
Underlit. Too much light is the really awkward lighting.
Yeah.
Where the whole place is just too bright.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like that part's. I feel like that's really weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was on a show that it was in Ardmore, Pennsylvania, another Philadelphia suburb, and the lighting it's terrible. I mean, they had a great lighting equipment, but they didn't know how to use it, and I didn't know, and so the lighting was was for a taller person, and it was like purple, and so it was just very difficult to get good lighting on the person talking. Unless they were very tall. Right. And also, sometimes, you find that they do it wrong, and the light is on the audience. And the audience has to stay in the dark. The comedian has to be lit up. You have to be on a spotlight.
Yeah.
And the audience has to be in the dark. And that's crucial. Because the audience, that's important to create that sense of community and sort of, complicity and, that way people can laugh together at things that maybe they wouldn't laugh otherwise. It's
right.
It's very important. It's very important.
Yeah, it's psychological. This is definitely. This is all tried and true stuff.
Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. It is.
So my show that I feel like it was kind of like the trifecta of blunders was front end. the advertising wasn't clear that there was going to be a comedy show at the venue.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was at a restaurant that otherwise just would have encouraged families to be there. You know what I mean? For like, running into, on a Friday night to grab a bite to eat. So, the place was packed, but not knowing there was going to be a comedy show. So when the announcement was made that, hey, the show is about to start, there were a lot of puzzled people, as they were being approached to now, pay for their ticket because they didn't know that would be an expectation. So many people just were angry and left. The ones who went home with their food, that was a shame. But what was actually worse were the ones who decided to pick up their food and stay and just relocate to a different part of the place. Because now they're just mad. And now they're just angrily talking loudly because their table got moved to some other part of the restaurant, Right. So that wasn't cool. Because the people were pissed. Of course they were upset. You know what I mean? So, because they had no idea. And to be fair, it really wasn't shared with them that, this was going to be happening.
They thought it would be a free show.
well, they didn't even know there was going to be a show. Right. To be fair, they just thought they were going to come in, treat their kids to some cheese fries and, hang out for a couple hours.
Yeah.
So, and on that topic, there were kids. There were young families with kids. And, hey, we're about to do a comedy show here, and then the families were saying, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's nothing they haven't heard before. And I was thinking, well, it's nothing they've heard me say before. And I don't feel comfortable doing my normal set in front of your really young looking kids that you have here.
Right.
So that was rough too. And then that was the place with the microphone that was cutting in and out between sound and music.
Yeah.
So that was just, like I said, the hat trick, trifecta, whatever. Yeah, that was the worst.
It's a message to like everybody that happens to. I mean, comic and audience. I almost want to go like, hey guys, we also don't want this to be happening.
Nobody wants it to happen.
We wanted you guys to just come to a show you wanted to see.
Exactly. And then I'm thinking, because like these people, like, they didn't want to pack up their kids and leave, which I understand. They were already settled in. They had just gotten their kids food. They didn't want to go anywhere. So I just totally threw my set out. I was like, I'm not doing my material here. And I went up to the bar and I grabbed a straw and I went up to the microphone. I was like, oh, these are like elementary school kids. And I put the one end in my armpit.
Right.
Where I got the right spot.
Yeah. Do some fart noises.
Yeah.
These
paper straws. And you know what gets me about these paper straws, you guys? They did away with plastic straws because they kill turtles and they're not biodegradable, but
nice.
Do you know what is biodegradable? Turtles.
Yeah.
Turtles are biodegradable, you guys.
This is high class stuff.
All right.
This is musical.
So I not only did I do this for 5 minutes, but I went to the bar and I grabbed a fistful of straws, distributed them amongst the children, showed them all how to do it, and encouraged them all to practice as often as possible for their family.
Parents were like, I hate
for their
you.
Parents. I was like, please practice the entire drive home as much as you can.
There you go. That's a very ladylike way of doing fart.
Well, I mean,
sounds,
if you could do hot cross buns on one of these, you're ready for 4th grade recorder. So So
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Recorder.
That was definitely a show fail. Oh, and then the best part.
Whoever learns a recorder.
Best part was I picked up a bite to eat while I was there, and I was there with one of my friends, and we grabbed like some food, and some of the other comics who were part of our show sat at our table, and they ordered a bunch of stuff too. Anyway, as soon as they were done their sets, they left. They couldn't get out of there fast enough. We were like, yeah, let's go too. Their food was put on our tab, and the establishment wanted to stick us with their food.
Oh wow!
Which was like a lot.
Yeah.
So it just felt like I said everything that could have gone wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I've had shows at bars where I call it, I don't know, maybe other people call it this way too, but comedy by ambush. They're there thinking that they're going to see the Phillies or the game or talk to somebody or whatever. And there's this woman doing stand-up comedy, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the kind of thing that happens in our world. And hopefully you'll get their attention after a while. And yeah, that can definitely backfire. You have to be a good sport about it sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they're not going to, even if it's great, they're not going to listen, because they're there to talk. Yeah, that's why shows at restaurants, where they have like family, that is, I don't know, that's difficult. I mean, my set is, it's pretty clean sometimes, but you need people's attention.
But when you work a little cleaner, I've noticed that, there's opportunities to work at like, let's say like a fundraiser where there's a basket raffle and then maybe there's a food buffet, maybe like a cash bar over here. So there's, it's like a 3-ring event circus of things going on. And they're like, oh, and this is our entertainer in this really big hall where there's 3 or 4 other things all happening at the same time. Well, the likelihood of getting everybody who's kind of there to congregate and support the cause, the likelihood of getting them to stop doing whatever they're doing, to stop talking and like whatever, and to come over and listen to a comedian, pretty slim. I mean, and I've done a couple where, if you get a couple of people who will walk up close and they'll be kind and they'll laugh and they'll whatever. But, it's, it feels a lot more like my day job of being a teacher where you just have, dozens of people in the back of the room that are just not listening at all. They're talking about something else, it's a lot. So, yeah. But, you just realize, okay, I'm here for the cause. It's for the greater good. It's not so much about me and my material. I'm just, honored that they asked me to be part of something so worthy. And, it's not about whether or not I feel like I did a good job. And it's usually people, I mean, so far it's been that way. Yeah. No,
but
sometimes
you're just glad people are there to support the cause. Even when they pay you like a good bit of money, you don't know, because the thing with stand-up comedy is that, okay, I mentioned that we need a microphone, a good microphone with a good connection, solid, reliable microphone with a stand and a stool, because, the stool is important. I think it is. I mean, it's not vital and it's not essential, but it is very important, and it's very easy to get a stool.
We're going to talk about this.
We will. And I love the word stool. And so that's why I'll say it. So no, I mean, you put your drink there, or you put your water. I mean, whatever you're drinking, or it can be a prop. In many cases, it's a prop. So it's very important for the jokes. Right.
So can I just so where Sandra and I run a show. It's monthly at PJ Ryan's in Phoenixville on Bridge Street.
Yeah. And
during our first meeting with the owners there, and it's a long established show. We're just simply taking the reins and continuing it. Yeah. But during our very first meeting,
we understand that it was started by Todd Glass.
Back in the day, started by Todd Glass,
and we are the first women to run. Ever. So
girl power, right?
Yeah, girl power.
So, but when the boys were in charge, I don't know, for some reason those guys had a stool, and when we showed up, like, hey, we're here to take it over. They're like, we're asking, hey, so what's the stage setup like? And we get shown what's available to us. No stool. So Sandra's like, no stool. So she's like, what do you mean? What do you mean no stool?
Yeah.
So Sandra blows up my phone. She's like, all right, look, I bought a stool. I found a stool. I bought us a stool. It's our stool. So she carries the stool down the steps to this basement, to this club, for us to have our stool.
Our stool.
Proper stool. So we've got the stool there. And so we're approaching the people that are, that we're working with, who, have worked for this establishment for years, a long time. And one guy's like, oh yeah, you're cool. Just leave the stool here. We'll keep it safe in this storage area off to the side. Other guy goes, oh no. You leave that stool here, it's going to get thrown out. Like, well, who would throw away a perfectly good stool? He's like, I don't know, but I wouldn't leave it here. So then we're debating, like, do we put the stool, like, do we huff the stool in and out, up and down the stairs to this basement? Do we make a name label for it?
Yeah.
But it's like, this is just that taunting of, like, you know, whether or not we're stool worthy, to like have a dedicated stool that we can just keep here.
Yeah.
That we don't have to drive the stool back and forth.
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, hopefully our listeners will rally for us, and you know what I mean? Like, we need to take a stand about the stool.
That's right.
I mean, at the end of the show, we shouldn't feel like we have to protect the stool. I feel like retain this. I don't want to be stool retentive and have to like shove it somewhere to keep it safe and not just, you know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're being stool bullied a little bit.
We are.
We're being stool bullied.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are the things
No,
you
it's
guys
just
will-
they have a cleaning guy. They have a cleaning guy that apparently has thrown away things by mistake, and so they say, you know, we don't know if he might. And so I forget what did we decide? You have it, right? So we're bringing it every time, right? Or did we leave it there?
It's there.
Well, you know,
It's there. We're gonna see if it's
let's
there.
take a gamble. I mean, you know,
It
was weird.
I'm just glad you
Yeah.
bought a stool I could easily replicate in case
Yeah.
my decision to leave it there didn't work out.
There you go. Yeah.
So,
Well, you know, the good thing is, I
Yeah.
mean, it's an expense, but it's, you know, it has to be high enough. And I don't know. I prefer wooden stools instead of metal. It could be metal, but I like wooden. I don't know. I like the classic look of things.
Sandra, you are a delight. I love that. I love that are you a stool snob?
I am.
Oh,
I am.
now this stool,
Now everybody
but
knows.
her
I'm a stool
collapsible
snob.
stool, the other stool, the step stool they got on
a
stage,
step stool.
that's a metal stool.
That's a metal stool, but
It's a
that's for
metal
stepping.
But
Right.
decoration stool that
Yeah.
you can lay your notes on or your
Yeah.
glass of water, that's a wooden stool.
That's a wooden stool. And also it can't have a padded seat because
Right.
then
No,
if people have a drink,
that can't support.
or you know,
the
or
surface.
sometimes it doesn't work
No.
for the prop they want to do. Sometimes
No.
it's actually better, but I don't. Yeah.
we're getting
So-
this is the nitty gritty of stool science,
These
people.
are important
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, and the height is important because, for instance, if our producer Neil is doing a set, he needs a stool that works for his height.
Yeah.
You know, because even I have found stools that are like, wait, what is this? Is this like for? It's like a Lilliput. You know, it's some sort of a pre-K situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like little furniture from.
Yeah.
Like the kitty furniture from IKEA that you take the feet apart and whatever. Yeah, I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. So I thought, we need a proper stool.
Yeah.
You know, it looks professional for comedy, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's performed well.
Yeah.
I don't know, where are we on time?
You are you should see it on the screen. Should 41:30.
Yeah, so are we at a moment when we could
Yeah, I can just throw in a
we could
transition
follow?
here,
Because
and then you
folks,
can.
know, we need sponsors.
We
So
do. We totally
here's the
do.
thing, you know, when you sponsor us, you know,
Maybe we could put our sponsors at logo on our stool.
that's right.
We have a lot of free
Yeah.
ad space on the stool.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about stool this whole time. Sponsor the stool, guys. Stool, sponsor that stool.
No.
We need it.
Yes.
Very,
We-
very
we need
important.
to- yeah. Some
What?
furniture company or whatever,
We're just
or
trying to
stool maker or bar. I mean,
I'm just trying to push this message and episode out.
Trying to push
Yeah.
this stool out.
Trying to push this out.
Stool out
Yeah.
there. What is happening? No,
Out there.
why don't you guys hit maybe some plugs for the people?
yeah, I guess. Well, Karen is at Soul Joe's tomorrow,
Yeah.
competing for the best of the burbs. So
Which maybe we
Yeah.
shouldn't have brought up, because if I don't advance
I'm
next
sorry.
episode.
Well, I did it. I didn't advance either, but it's fine.
But I mean,
I
it's
liked
hard.
it. It's
Tomorrow,
fine.
I'm trying very hard to make it through round one. And then Saturday night, I'm in a show at Slack Tide Brewing in Avalon, but we sold out. We sold that out, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I've done that one. That was a good one.
And then June 14th, I'm hosting the Funny Woman of a Certain Age show at Soul Joel's.
That's very good.
So I'm very excited. I really could not be more excited about that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm traveling, but let's see. I have I'm doing a set of Lady Laughs in the city. I don't even know exactly where, but I'll post it in my social media. on the 13th, and then on the 30th, I think it's pending confirmation. I have another one. I think it's Brow House in Philadelphia, in Center City. Yeah, and I'm going to be traveling here and there. So I probably will be in North Carolina part of the summer, and I will announce that on my social media. Either I'll be at, I don't know, I'll try and get a spot at Cosey's in Virginia Beach, and I'm sorry, in Newport News, Virginia, and Virginia Beach somewhere. I forget the name of the club there, and in bars since it's summer, and in the Outer Banks, you might see me there. So
awesome.
That's it. That's what I have going on that I can remember.
It sounds like a lot. It sounds like a lot. So.
Not much, but it's for someone who travels. Yeah. So
Karen's gonna play us out.
Yeah.
We got a dry pit. Let's get another one.
We're gonna leave you with another.
There we go.
The other one was doing better earlier.
This is beautiful.
Never had a lesson.
Another
it shows.
Lady like fart. I know how to make one with I don't know if it's gonna come out, but I used to when I was in school.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
go for it. Oh wow.
It's really good. I like turtleneck seasons so I can hide most of the straw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Turtleneck season's a little. Yeah, I can be a little bit more.
Yeah.
I forgot you. But yeah, that's like your spy look when you're doing the farts that way. That's fun.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
We like slapstick. We're gonna leave you with a slapstick. How about
that's it?
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
Paper straw. My paper straw gave up, but
Don't forget to subscribe, everybody.
Yeah. Don't forget to
subscribe to the podcast, and we'll see you on the
Help
next
save our
episode.
stool. And let's bring back plastic straws.
That's right. No, what? No, I'm conflicted. I love turtles. So does she. Don't, we're trying to find a solution. Please. Recycle. Bye.
Hey everybody, how you doing? This is comedian Neil Wood and
Adam Nutter.
We can't do it like that. You have to sound like a human being. This cut. That's insane. Because I'm realizing how little you're talking.
Adam Nutter.
I could just take, if you just want me to, honestly, you know what we need to do is you just need to get that clean.
Adam Nutter.
And then I'll just pop it in wherever I need to, bud.
Adam Nutter. Let's do that.
Come listen to the Cult of Us podcast. That's our promo.
Adam Nutter.
A Drop Tent Media Network podcast. Go to droptent.com or search Cult of Us podcast on your favorite podcast platform.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.